Hi everybody, my name's Cole and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about the top 5 ways you can grow your Facebook following in 2020, and especially now during COVID-19. So as a lot of you guys probably have your own businesses, you're probably trying to expand your functions on social media, trying to increase your follower count there because traditional marketing just isn't as effective as social media and digital marketing can be. So we're going to talk about specifically how to use Facebook to increase your follower count, to advertise to more people, to be seen by more people organically, and how that can help grow your business, especially during this turbulent time. So before we get started though, I do want to mention, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It really helps to get the video pushed out there to more and more people and help this channel grow. But for those of you who don't know me, I've worked for Facebook, TikTok, iHeartMedia, Coldwell Banker, both on one side helping companies do better on social media and digital marketing, and on the other side working for those companies like TikTok and Facebook and understanding how they work, how they function, and what they want you, the users, to do on the platform to be seen by more and more people. So with this experience, I'm taking my top 5 recommendations for how to grow, specifically on Facebook, your following for your business. Number 5, make good content. So this should come as no surprise to anybody, but the accounts and the pages that make good content see better results, right? It's kind of obvious. But that being said, we still see a lot of accounts out there, a lot of pages that are making really quick content that is just, not a lot of thought has gone into it, and it's purely to post, just to check that box, and not caring too much about the process being put into it and the end result. When you post something on social media, you're competing with thousands and thousands of other people, and especially as businesses, you're kind of starting a little bit behind, because when somebody's on Facebook, they're seeing stuff from their friends, they're seeing stuff from their family, and you as a business, when creating organic content, you have to compete with that, whereas those people have an intrinsic value associated with what their friends and family are posting. They might not care yet about your business because you might be new to that. Especially when you're starting out and you're creating content and starting to grow that following, the best thing you can do is create really good content consistently. Videos, high quality pictures, that kind of stuff, that's kind of obvious, but it's also secondary, right? When we say make good content, we're referring to specifically about content that people want to consume, right? So you don't need a really high quality camera necessarily. You don't need a really high quality microphone. Those things can help for sure. And you see a lot of content that does really well and has those things. But you also see a lot of content that does really well, especially on Facebook, that does not necessarily have those things. And it's because the creators of those pieces of content know that what they're saying is most important. So the business is putting out content that's really high quality, that doesn't actually have a high quality camera or a high quality microphone or all of that kind of stuff. What they do is they focus on their message. They create content and they talk about things and they show you things that you want to see. That's how they start to grow their following, by creating content that people will see. So you need to ask yourself as a business, like, what do my consumers want to see? You have to be a little bit creative here, and that's the part that kind of trips people up. A lot of people want to just use a boilerplate, one-size-fits-all post and call it a day. But at the end of the day, that isn't really where you see the best results. Where you see the best results is really caring about the content you create and showing that to the end user. Number 4, don't post links, or at least don't post as many links as 90% of the businesses on Facebook. I see it all the time whenever I'm doing consulting work or freelance work, helping a business out with their social media presence or their digital marketing. Their Facebook page is filled with links just leading people to their website. Nobody wants to see that. When you're on Facebook, that's one of the best places to cultivate an audience. But you don't cultivate an audience by saying, hey, we see that you're looking at our post right now, go somewhere else. As a business growing your following on Facebook, you have so much competition. Why hurt yourself by only posting links where somebody has to then take another step to actually see the content or the offer that you're trying to provide them? But that happens all the time, and the reason is because it's easy, right? Because people understand that you need to post on social media to be successful on social media. They kind of take the bare minimum, right? They take the easiest approach, where they, on Facebook, where they have the option to post a link, every day or every other day, they'll just post a link going to their website or going to a blog post that they've written or things like that. And I'm not saying all links are bad. You can use your other posts and strategically find times to put in links to actually get a good result out of it. However, if you're posting a link every single time, or even half of your posts are links going to some other site, that's going to be really bad. And there's actually a secondary reason why posting links is so bad. So if you think about it on the Facebook side, Facebook makes money when people use their platform, right? But when you post a link on your page and somebody sees that and clicks it and goes somewhere else, that's not good for Facebook, and Facebook knows it. They want people to stay on their site for longer. They want people to have a good experience on Facebook so that all of the ads that people see, those rack up and they make money for every ad that you see. That's another reason why it's especially hard to succeed by posting only links, or vast majority of your posts being links to external sites, right? Facebook doesn't want you to do it, so they're going to demote that content, or at least stop it from really seeing the light of day as much as a high quality picture or video or something else. And on top of that, the consumer doesn't want to see that either, right? Because that's another step for them to go through to actually see what you're talking about. Nobody likes that. Everybody's conscious about clickbait and things like that now, so even the little tricks that were working in 2017 and 18, they don't really work anymore. Number 3, diversify your content. So just like we were talking about, don't do links all the time or half the time, or really even a third of the time, maybe maximum. You want to have organic content, organic posts that live on your page that provide value to the person that you're trying to win over to become a follower, right? And in order to do that, it really helps to diversify that content, right? So posting a picture every single day is not as effective as like saying, hey, we're going to put up a video today. Then tomorrow we're going to do a photo. Then the next day we're going to do a live video. And the next day we're going to do another photo, and then another photo, and then a video. By having that diversified content, it helps 2 different ways as well. The first way, it helps with consumers who maybe they are always on social media, they're always on Facebook with their phone and it's muted, so they don't get the same experience out of videos, right? But that's where they're always on Facebook. So they're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of photos, or about like memes or things like that are going to provide a really quick sense of content for them to digest on the go, and they can still enjoy that and become a follower or become invested in your content that way. And on the other hand, a lot of people really like videos, right? So a lot of people go on Facebook and it's really easy for them to get caught up in a video. I mean, social media works really great as a procrastination tool, right? And videos are one of the best ways to have somebody procrastinate. So if you have a good video content, that can also bring somebody in. But the only way to really find what your audience is most interested in is to try a little bit of everything, especially when you're starting out. And even when you start to get a bigger and bigger following going forward, having diversified content is really just going to appeal to all sides of your audience. And that brings us to number 2, which is engage with your followers, right? So I see this all the time, especially when I was at Coldwell Banker. I was helping real estate agents and get their content out there and get seen by more and more people. People put out a post, they actually take time and they work at it and they find something good, they diversify their content, they work to fill all those other things that we've already talked about. And then they post something like a picture or a video, they get some likes, they get some comments and things like that, and then suddenly they just stop. They don't respond, they don't follow up with those people, they just kind of post it and then they move on with their day, right? And I can see the appeal for that. I think most people think about social media as a task they need to do for their business every day, and then once they check that box, they can move on. Unfortunately, you really are leaving a lot on the table when you do that. The best way to go about posting is you post a piece of content, and then especially in the first 5 to 20 minutes after you posted that content, you want to be following up with everybody who's commented on it. If anybody has shared it, you really want to comment on that and say, hey, thank you so much for the share. By the way, I had this other post, or check out more stuff on this other page, things like that. Whether you're a musician or you run a small business or you just want more followers, following up, establishing that connection between you and the person who shared or commented on your content is huge. So you want to encourage that by responding to everything. And really big YouTubers do this really, really well. You'll see that when they post a piece of content, they'll stay active for 20 minutes or even an hour and respond to the first couple people who put in comments. That encourages people to put in comments as soon as they see the video and really early on, which helps boost their content in the algorithm, and it works the exact same way for Facebook. The more likes, the more comments, the more shares you can get early on with your post, the better that post is going to be and the more people who are going to end up seeing it. So make sure you engage with all those people who have taken time out of their day to engage with your content. It's really going to help you tenfold. Okay, and the last thing is be consistent, okay? And there's a little bit of a misconception about being consistent, right? So specifically on Facebook, being consistent is crucial, just like any social media platform. However, the timing of being consistent is really, really important, especially on this platform in particular. So Facebook, unlike Instagram and especially unlike TikTok, where turnover is really quick with content, right? Posting 4 to 5 posts a day in TikTok would be fantastic. It'd be really good in Instagram. It is not good from what we see with research on Facebook. So ever since 2017, 18-ish, we have seen Facebook really dedicate themselves to a policy of promoting meaningful social interactions. What does that mean? So basically it means that Facebook took a look at all the content that was on their platform. They took a step back and they said, okay, we're seeing a lot of businesses, we're seeing a lot of people promoting stuff that's not just, them having fun or encouraging people to interact with their photos or things like that, right? They're getting a little bit away from what Facebook's main purpose is. They still want businesses to be on it, but they wanted to make sure that they retain that core policy of being about people. So focusing on meaningful social interactions was their way to solve this. Basically, they want people to be people. I'll explain that in a little bit. They saw a lot of businesses promoting content, things like that, and they said, that's okay, but we want a little bit less of that, right? So they want people who post, about their friends, about their family, that encourage conversations, encourages a really good experience on their platform. So they, in turn, didn't want as much spammy business stuff. And so they want you to act kind of like a person does, right? A regular person. So obviously everybody watching this is a person, but a lot of times the way we work our pages for our businesses or our side hustles or things like that is incredibly mechanical, right? So, we sit down, we post just link after link after link, or photos or just memes that we just post, every day at like 10 a.m. we just post this and this and this and this and this. And it's not very organic, like how a person posts. So long story short, being consistent does not mean posting every single day at a certain time. What we see with Facebook is that posting, one time and then maybe 2 days later posting again, maybe 2 days later posting again, maybe 3 days later you post again. On Facebook, you actually see a lot more benefit from posting not every single day, but when you do post, you put really good quality content in there, okay? TikTok, Instagram, that might be a little bit different with those algorithms. But Facebook, what we see is that if you have a video and the video does really, really well, it gets a lot of likes, a lot of comments, a lot of shares, it's starting to blow up a little bit, it's starting to be seen by people who aren't just, your followers or friends of your followers, you're gonna wanna ride that wave for as long as you can. Right? So that content is doing really well, and you don't want to cut it off by posting another piece of content just because you're supposed to post another piece of content every single day. What you want to do is you want to encourage putting out really good content that continues to get views and likes and shares and things like that for a couple of days. And then once that starts to trail off and you're starting to not see as much exposure from that again, you want to post again. By giving every post enough time to really grow and get as much engagement as possible, Facebook is going to see that you as a page always get like 20 comments, always get like 15 likes instead of every post you get 1 or 2 likes, right? So that sets a higher standard on Facebook for your content as a business, which is huge because that means that when you post another piece of content later on, Facebook already has this track record of your posts, right? They already have seen that, hey, this person's posts do pretty well. So Facebook knows that this is the kind of content people want to see because people are liking it, commenting, and sharing it. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to this channel. Please hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching.